movie notes on Under the Tuscan Sun, 2003 film, 5 September 2024 viewing. Kona Dog and I just finished watching it on the big screen over there. I'm Tanis Coralee Leonhardi, she, her, hers, in Seattle. Today is Thursday, 5 September 2024. And the description I came up for this viewing is a fiction film about a woman adjusting to life in Italy, Tuscany, after buying a house when visiting the country following a divorce from her husband. So she lives in the United States of America, and then her marriage goes poof and she gets a divorce, and her friends give her tickets to Italy, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna go. And then when she's out on a tour bus, she just sees this house that she loves. So she goes off and inquires about buying the house, buys the house, and then adjusts to life in Italy and decides to kind of settle down in Italy. So I thought I'm going to classify this as a moving streamlined, it does cover a lot of the elements of like culture shock and adjusting to culture. And for some people it's not relevant. As somebody who has lived outside of the United States with extended stay documentation, it was a 6-month visa. This is there, and for me that was in South Africa back in 2012, and so over a decade ago. But it's still, this is one that's kind of like, depending on where you go, yeah, it could be a bit of a culture shock. If one's going from like metropolitan area to metropolitan area, it might not be much of a shock, aside from like maybe language. But yeah, or in food and stuff like that. But this one kind of came with more of a culture change, and then she was kind of a city girl and didn't have a lot of like handiness, and so she, by buying this house, it was kind of like a rundown villa, but it's kept in the family for a long time kind of thing. So she takes it over and decides to kind of like completely overhaul it, and so she gets to do a bunch of stuff and to the house, but she gets to learn how to do it, and so she has to ask for help because she doesn't know how to do it. So there's like a growth component to it of just learning to ask for help as well. And it's kind of a fun one in the sense of like, you know, part of adjusting to a different culture is like there's a bird, and there's like the bird pooping is a good omen in Italy versus like, you know, in New York City, it's like that bird just ruined my, you know, $2,000, you know, suit or whatever. So there's a little bit of a, you know, one thing that might mean something in one country might not be the same in another country or culture. And so I'm like, am I moving to Tuscany with Seychelles? Am I moving to Tuscany with Beckham? Am I moving to Tuscany with Nicolo? I thought that was Baresi. Am I moving to Italy? And then if I am moving to Italy, or I don't have a house. My man has a house, and I live with my man and my men, wherever they may be. Or maybe it's under my name, but it's their house. I have, again, no idea, but I'm throwing ideas out there. So, no idea of the resolute solution. Maybe it's a way of phrasing it. Where's Sarah Sjostrom gonna live? Is it gonna be a vineyard with a Sjostrom house? And promise the gray squirrel, like, in Sharpie, you know, the gray squirrels, they made appearances during this movie. And I think the last time I talked about going to Italy, I did a video on like who I could take as travel companions on my heritage travel trip to Italy. And after I filmed the video or something like that, or I was watching this movie or something, the squirrels literally showed up and were like, take us too. So there seems to be a theme emerging of when I'm watching this movie, the squirrels are like, don't forget about us. Or if I'm talking about like going to Italy or moving to Italy, the squirrels are like, they show up and they're like, we're ready. I'm like, so there we go. That's you. Yeah. Nicolo, so my Seychelles, my Martinenghi, my Beckham. Right. And then there's others. Kona's middle name is Napoli. I give him that. It's the name of, in English, I think it's Naples. Oh, you're looking the other way now? Fine. We still love you. Yeah. But it's a fun one. A little bit, so for some people they might not, and it's not necessarily relevant in today's market as well. Housing market in the United States of America. Today's housing market in the United States of America is kind of, a lot of people get cold feet and move. This is kind of the anti-current housing market, right? But people will buy a house, live there for a little bit, and then move. This is more about a long-term commitment and settling down and starting a family and getting together with one's significant, like, soulmate and finding love and forever home, so to speak. Whereas it's kind of a cold feet housing market in the United States of America currently and of recent. Maybe that'll change, but this is a different time, 2003, a different place, Italy. But that's from me, Tanis Coralee Leonhardi. She, her, hers, and this is my movie notes on Under the Tuscan Sun 2003 film, 5 September 2024.